Hey all, quick thoughts on this thing. So, MIDI-wise, Roger had a question about this, and I want to say this. Sound-wise, put the damn thing to the test. Me, I come from the world of the Helix and all that, and this thing, for the three things that it does, wow. You got to try it. No two ways about it. Think what you want. I would agree with you that in the mix, out of the front of house, not going to make any difference. Don't buy it if that's what you think is going to happen. It really won't make any difference. But personally for you, or anyone who's looking at this thing, I felt a difference, and I'm a Joe Schmo nobody when it comes to playing the guitar. I'm a MIDI guy. So on to the MIDI. I agree. The implementation currently kind of, it would suck if you're a normal guy, but I think if you're a normal guy who's afraid of MIDI, you're never going to touch it. You have an option to take the box itself, the box. You can hit fave. You can go between one or two with just that. If you stick an expression pedal on there, you can switch between two. If you stick the 4-button dooflicky in front of it, you've got 4 faves. Don't know how many you need. You manually on the front, you can access 1, 2, 3 amps and 3 cabs per thing. With MIDI, you can access 9 cabs for the 1 amp, or if you split them into mono, left and right, with different IRs, that's 18. That's a lot of stuff. More than enough. Let's remain realistic. This thing is not a Helix or a Kemper or a Doodad. It's not meant to do that. Costs what it costs, but you got to do your own math. How it plays, fucking A. It's wow. But for me, who's used to this stuff, who likes graphics, who wants to see what's going on, you need to set up. Simply ignore the prettiness of this. I like pretty, but I've got PC numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Don't know how many you're going to use. I don't see how anyone could use 300, but I'm sure somebody could. But if you're going to use vast numbers, I've set up like 20 in this thing in 5 minutes. It's easy to do. I would recommend doing it on some sort of digital device where you can take a picture of the thing on the front. What this needs is an app that you can... It needs more. Let's put it that way. What I would like to see is that if somebody's dialing this in, you should be able to save it. You should be able to export it onto a phone by cable. Let's not put Bluetooth or any nonsense in there to mess up the sound. Let's keep it simple. But you should be able to take a USB cable, plug it in, extract the stuff that's in there, the settings, have them come up on screen as nice presets, and you should be able to share them across the internet. That's something that Strymon or an app developer or whoever can do. I'm not that kind of guy. I've built my own. But I can't really share these because all of the memory is stored in the little box. And all it's doing is mapping a number to whatever's in there. And whatever's in there is going to be 6 numbers with values. Simple file, just like you'd have in a Helix. I think that should be shareable. But 3 amps. Hopefully down the road they will introduce more amps which you can change out for the ones that are in there. That would be cool. That you can buy. You can use this thing as a glorified IR loader. To me, whatever they've done in this thing, it is worth the bucks. I feel a difference. If I can feel a difference, and I never played tube amps in my life, you will notice a difference. I think the words going around on it, ambrosia and blah, 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 and all this, it's true. The thing just works. So try it. Go and find one somewhere, sit down with it, put on the phones and listen to it. It's wow. But there's stuff that they could have done better that maybe they will. To me, this is a precursor for something that's going to come out hopefully NAMM or within the next year or post, where they make their own modeler and they deal with the software a bit of it. It takes a bit of faffing about, but if you don't want to mess with OnSong, if you find this stuff too hard, not that it is, it's really simple. There's all kinds of apps that you can use that store PC commands, or if you're using this with a modeler, it's a kind of a simple fire and forget thing. Like you'd bring up a snapshot or a preset, you'd go into whatever it's called, the command center, stick in a PC number in advance, dial in what you want, send the PC number, it remembers it. It's not difficult. You know, I think there's a lot of stuff they could do better. This whole TRS plug thing, I don't understand why they've done that. If you want a whole bunch of other Strymon, like if I want to go out tomorrow and buy a whole bunch of other Strymon pedals that use that, or Chase Bliss pedals that use that, it's not normal, or you can't daisy chain it. You have to get a star config. You have to get a box to split your MIDI out, which takes more power. It's making MIDI harder for the average Joe. And what I want to see, why I have the Line 6 MIDI Mad Scientist Club, is that this stuff is really what you want. I mean, who wants to remember all this nonsense? You just want to find your sound, save it, recall it, have it work. Simple. You know, there's no points for being a total nerd about this. The points are you get your sound when you want it as quick as possible. It's possible. It takes a little bit of faffing about, but I think you kind of have to go back in time now to the old school way of doing it. Take a picture of the front of the thing. I'm setting up a thing where I can just mark it on screen with a pen. Here's where it is, and save it in a database, and then I know where it is. But ideally, Strymon should come up with some extraction app or tool to suck that stuff out, put it on a screen, display it, and have you share it across the net to whoever you want, so that we can all go, ooh, ah, isn't that cool? And they haven't done that yet. So kind of with you, kind of not. I would definitely say this: until you try it yourself, physically try it, you can't say a thing. Any test that you're listening to across YouTube, it's bullshit, and you know it. There's no way that you can transmit a signal of that kind of fidelity and get the feel of it listening to a YouTube video. It's nice, but nah. You got to get one. You got to try it. I'm sold on the damn thing. Objectively sold on it. Would I use other things? Yeah, I have 3 pedals that do exactly the same thing. None of them give me that feeling. And that is really what I wanted to get out of this thing, so I'm happy. Now I kind of get it. I've tried listening to tube amps all the time. I'm, you know, the tech guy here at my club. I've certainly, you know, I've got good ears. I've noticed the difference, but until you play the damn thing, we're just talking into the wind. Play the thing. Try it out. I tell you, she's worth it. Definitely worth it, but it's no replacement for an HX Stomp or a bigger Helix or a Kemper or whatever. You don't have the interfaces. It's just simplicity itself, and you have to complicate things if you want complicated. If you want simple, that's what it's made for. That's what it does. Good luck. Get one.